Well, good morning, folks, off YouTube. I'm hoping the moon's still up. It's not even sunrise yet. It's just going behind a cloud. Pretty dramatic. Anyway, that's not what this is about. We've got frost. So, how will the car start on this morning? We've got frost. We don't have a frosty windscreen because I covered the car up. Oh, frost. Hey, where did them come from? Right, let's see if the car will start. Lights. And action. Didn't like that, did it? Turned over well though. I know there's an issue with the glow plugs, but what a difference a good battery makes. Right, off to work. See you there. Little lad chasing it.
Oh, it's fell over now. Scratch it.
Look at the size of that thing. NBA, get some of your traps out over here.
Mastiff.
Look, stand it when they're all fucking there. You fucking took Mark Ware out and stand in front.
Look at the size of that dog. Bloody hell, there's no stopping him, is there? Come on then. Oh! You're friendly, aren't you? You're friendly. You don't want to let go. Well, it's been a long... Look at that. It's been a long day, but we're home. And what do you think of Vince the dog? He were a big one, weren't he? And then I knelt down to say hello to him and he come bounding over and just, boom, knocked me straight over. Right. It's Thursday. It's fire extinguisher night. So we picked up those last night, and I did all those last night. That was not a problem. Wednesday, but looks like I've got to careful again. Right, I'll get that lot out, and I'll see you in the shed in a few minutes. Right, so we're in the shed now. We've got the fire going, because although I've been doing these fire extinguishers now for a while, right, so we're in the shed. I forget that's not an all in my head. It's a balaclava. But you wouldn't know it was me if I had it on, would you? See? Now, yeah. So how would you know it's me? If well, you'd probably figure out the way I was speaking that it was me. So I don't. There we go. So don't word it like that when I'm talking to you. Understandable. Okay, so we're in the shed. We've got the fire going. I'd say I've become pretty proficient with these fire extinguishers. I'm always looking for new ways to make myself more efficient. I've got something there that's going to help me. I'll show you in 2 minutes. But I've hit a snag. Something I wouldn't have foreseen. Not in the UK. People in Canada and those other countries, yes. But not us. What is it? I'll show you. You might just be able to hear the fire crackling away. If you can, That's because I need it on, not because I'm cold. I'll put a load of layers on, because it's, what are we? It's 7 o'clock and we don't want to be out here too late tonight. What's the snag of it? Well, I took the top off this foam extinguisher and listen. It's full of ice and I can't get the ice out. I'm going to have to bring them in, let them warm up in front of the fire and then pour the water out. And that's what I want to show you, how I'm going to get the water out. Normally, it's there, it's a bucket, and I just tip it upside into the bucket. That means I can only do one at once. I suppose I could get more buckets. No, I've got a better idea. Right, what's my fantastic idea? That is my idea. Right, I've got a piece of channel. I've raised it up so it's on a slope. Yeah, you know where we're going with this, or you should be doing. I've cleaned it in a couple of places. I did, as you can see, just tack it on to try it, but they were very lightly tacked and 2 have come off. So basically, I'm going to put that on there. Another one on there. And then when I get my bottle, like that. Yeah, sorry, it's because it's got a round bottom. Stay there. So, once I've unscrewed the top off, there is a residue of water in there. This time, we just pick it up over there, and we put it over the top of there, like that. And as you can see, it will then self-drain. I put a cloth there, so I knew that would happen. There's a lot more than that in. This has already been drained. And I've got one there and one there. So I'll be able to do 3 bottles at a time, can be draining while I'm taking off the tops of another 3 bottle. Matthews, you just, I don't know. Words fail me at time. Amazing. Go on, that one will do. Right, let's have a drink of me. It's Thursday, I've finished. I don't work Fridays. So we've been to Aldi on the way home tonight, and we're having some Rossini Grand at the Reserva, and it tastes very nice. Italiano knockoff, and well, it's not bad, 5.9%. I'll not read the blurb. Malt from an Italian barley doesn't mean it was made in Italy. Just says the barley was from Italy. Actually doesn't say where it was brewed. Doesn't really matter, does it? Right, just let me get that welded up and see where we go from there. I see a flaw in my cunning plan. What? So, if the pole was long enough, it would stop it falling over, I guess. It's not going to fall over, it's going to stay at that angle. But I think that angle's enough to let it to drain. The reason I think that is, here's the top off one. So if I put that on there, and by the way, this is a clever device, this is. I get big cylinders, I get medium-sized cylinders, and I get what I call my small cylinders, which are still quite big, but they look very similar. So I cut one of the medium ones up, so now I just get one of them, and if it goes over the top, I know that goes inside one of them. And if I take that and it won't go over, then I know that will go inside of that. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it, really? So that's what I've got. So like I said, if I turn that over, and that was a bottle, plonk it on. You're going to see it's definitely curved. So I think, no, I think it'll puddle water there. So I think that's puddling water here, and I need a way to keep it vertical. See, you can see water coming out now. So obviously that's puddling water there. So I could take some bits of steel and I could maybe put some bits on like that. You know what I mean? You know where I'm coming? Oh, jeez. Do you know where I'm coming from here? I'll do this one-handed. Forgive me. There we go. So I could weld that there. That keeps it vertical. But what happens if I put a bigger cylinder on? Would that need to move? You know what I'm going to weld that in place there now, and then try a bigger cylinder, because I have got that much movement, haven't I? So if a bigger cylinder if that cylinder's hard up against that side, and I've got that, which is that, if you know where I'm coming from, I've got all that weight to move that way. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tack one of them on, get that vertical, tack one of them on, like that, and see if that makes a difference. Sounds a plan. Right, and my other cunning plan is, I brought some in now to thaw out. And I'm thinking, put one on top of the fire, it'll get hotter quicker. The water inside will be hot. Pour that water inside of that one. Put that on top of the fire. That'll get hotter. Then I can pour that water into that one. That'll melt whatever's ice is in there. Put that back on the fire till eventually I'll have something that's about full of water, hot water, which I can keep pouring in to, because there's about, might as well show you, haven't I? And Ian said, let there be light, and there was light. Because all these have got frozen water in them. I've got them tipped up, but nothing's coming out. Oh, to answer a question, somebody might pause. Listen, why don't you just tip them up outside while you're here? Apart from the fact that the water's frozen, I've tried this. The problem is, that is very flat. My flags are flat, the pavers are flat. If I tip that upside down and balance it like that, it seals itself. There's hardly anything coming out. It seals itself. What I need to do, I need to balance it over the top of a crack. When it's balanced over the top of a crack, and a tiny little bit allows the water to come out. But when you've got so many, and they're very, very fickle, slightest touch, they fall over, it's not the answer. The answer is what I've just built, I think. However, I won't be able to test it tonight because all these are frozen. They're not going to thaw in time because the scrap gods are against me, or should I say the weather is against me. How does Miss Canadian Scrapper, Dan Bush Dog Scrapper, I'll give him a mention, he's just come on the scene, and he's in Alberta, Canada. So if you don't know about bush dog, let's come in here, because I ain't got much hair on my head, so my head quickly cools down and my ears get cold as well. So tis a bit warmer in here. Actually, it's getting quite toasty. Oh, well, I'm next to the door hole, so you can expect a little bit of freshness. Right, Ian's going to crack on because it's 7:30 now, and I promised I'd be in for 8. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I think my plan's working, because look at that, we're steaming. We're steaming from that one as well. So obviously it's getting hot. My plan's working. Onwards and forwards. So indeed my cunning plan is working. That one I've already emptied into one, which I've emptied into another. There's 2 of those in the workshop. I've just emptied one of those into there. So this is now quiet. You can still hear it. But that is got warmish water in. So as you can see, that one is started to steam. So what I need to do now is to empty one of the others into that. Anyway, it's working. As I get warm water from one, pour into the other. Maybe I put that back on there. It's going to be a time consuming thing this, but in the meantime I can be stripping cylinders. Right, let's see if I can do this. So I've just explained, these have had warm water. That was on top of the fire. So the warm water from there I poured into that one. Eventually I poured that into another. And that one. I have tagged a little bit of a brace on there. Just welded it at the bottom. I can bang it in with an hammer because this is the smallest cylinder. So I'm now going to take that off. Okay. That is empty. That one will go inside of that one. I'll just prove it. That. See, that won't go over, which means that one will go inside of that one. Right, so that cylinder is fatter than that cylinder. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. Bear with me. My tripod's there. And I should say thank you to Jules. Jules sent me a sum of money and super chat or something. It's in something below, and she said, get yourself a tripod or get some booze, it's up to you. Ooh, decisions. Anyway, thank you very much, Jules, for that. It's appreciated. So we've got a cloth there. We're going to tip this upside down. There is a little bit of water in it. We need to see if it works. There's the water running out. Put that there to soak that up. Even though that cylinder is fatter than that one, it just means the fatter side's moved over. If you know what I mean? Because there's a big hole, the hole can move over. Right, so that proves that off. Now then, that size of cylinder fits inside of that one. So we whip that off. I know I'm doing this one-handed, and I do apologise. So, will that distance be greater than the diameter, be smaller than the diameter there to there? There's only one way to find out. Stick my finger in that hole. Sorry, I'm coughing. Oh, it's not innuendo, I promise. Wow, look at that, look, it's a veritable river. Oh no. There's way too much there. That means I'm going to wake up in the morning, not to snow, but to a rusty bench. We'll have to wipe that up. Right, and what do you see? The distance between, the diameter between that and the centre of the hole on a big un still makes it work. I don't know if I've explained that very well, but in my twisted engineering kind of way, that works, which means I can put another brace at a similar angle on every one. Job's a good one. Right, okay. That's not doing much to keep my head warm, is it? Right, my plan isn't quite working. Well, it will work if I give it time. Which means, how long is it going to take for this frigid shed to warm up enough to transfer the heat into, from a metal cylinder which is insulated with plastic, to allow the frozen water to melt. Okay, it's a great idea, it's working. Water, hot water, transfer, but I want to go quicker. So I'm trying something else. And the something else is, fortunately, I mainly use a wood-engineer's vice, a wood vice, because it can come out quite a big ways. So I can stick that in there, which is full of water, full of frozen water. I can just nip it up, and that'll allow me to cut the top off vertically. Normally, I take a cylinder and I lie it down because I can spin it as I'm cutting it. I cut it horizontally. But if I do that when it's got water in it, water will run out onto the bench. This way, if I cut it horizontally, the water can't run out. I'm just going to whip the top off that one and call it a night. Boosh, I hope you can hear me over the extractor fan. The rags there was just to, well, stop the fumes coming out. I've just cut that off. It's not an even cut. Way smoking! Oh well, I've got the extractor fan going, so all that should go up that way and out. But that way, yeah, it proves that the water, the ice down there. Let me see the ice. I always say, how do you view the ice when your camera is also your torch? But if you remember, Howard Taylor printed and donated me this torch, which Howard shed, fits onto a DeWalt battery. So there we go, and there we go, chunks of ice down at the bottom. That's pretty I don't know what you call it, pretty good proof that I can just cut the top off and not have water going all over my bench, and at the same time I'll have others warming up, because I don't really want, well, I still have to cut the top off them, don't I? So all those are big ones, so the tops have to come off them. Focus. All the big ones, the tops have to come off, so it doesn't matter if there's water in them. I just do it vertically. All the medium ones and smaller ones, still quite large, do get drained. No, the tops have to come off that, because those are going in there and there are going in there. And as you saw outside, I've got shitload of them. Right, well that's it. It's 5 minutes past 8. My allotted time's up. Don't want to annoy the neighbours. I've got done what I needed to do. I've proved me hypothesis. You have an hypothesis and then you have a theory and then you prove the theory. Or is it you have a theory which becomes an hypothesis and then you prove the hypothesis? It's one of those either way. How does Miss Canadian Scrapper go on in this? There must be hardy folk, them folk in Canada. Right, Ian's had enough. Going in for his tea. See you lot in the next vid, which won't be long. Take care, folks. Little Tash.